You know what Wu-Tang and a blunt is, right? You smoke a joint to the roach, and then you like you hit it really hard, and then you kind of just let it go, and it like flies into your throat, and you like swallow the roach. And it's called Wu-Tang and a blunt, because I'm pretty sure Wu-Tang used to do that on stage. Dude, watch it. Please watch it. I was just about to send it to you. What? That's like a legendary video.
Wu-Tang it. Woo! He just swallowed the roach, motherfucker.
Dude, I can hear that shit in the background. That's funny as fuck. Do your interviews usually go like this, or is it usually just like, what are you, what? Is this like a normal Syrmor interview? Ah, dude. We met when I was like 7 or 8 at this little elementary school called Hollywood Beach Elementary. Because I grew up on a beach and he lived on the same beach as me. We were like 7 and we fucking hated each other, dude. Because, you know, my name's Santino and he used to call me Fat Tino. We really didn't like each other. Somehow, when we were like 9 or 10 years old, we just like started being cool and like we realized we lived like next to each other and like, dude, from there on, like, dude was like my best friend for the rest of my life. So we would just kick it all the time, dude. Like, just hang out and do beach shit. Like, go fucking take big, you know, boogie boards and ride them and just fuck around, you know, do all types of dumb shit. I don't know, like, it was a really small little beach town. It's cool because everyone knows each other. As kids, we would, like, you know, go find some lady with bamboo on her front yard, cut the bamboo stick and turn it into a fishing pole and literally go catch like rockfish. Like, you know, beach shit. We would wait at the bus stop and play with our fucking kendamas and like get breakfast burritos. And we had a fight club when we were in elementary school. we had a fight club under a bridge. And when I was a kid, man, I took MMA and jiu-jitsu and like, you know, I did all this training and like fighting and I did boxing and all that. Just for him to kick my fucking ass, dude. Seriously, I mean, he would come over to my house. My sister would give me stone. I would fucking yak my guts out because, dude, you're 11 years old. You shouldn't be smoking pot. And like, he would just sit there and play Gary's Mod on my computer and like laugh at me while I would just be like stoned as fuck in bed. Like, he's literally the reason I like grew my hair out as a kid. Like, we found these condoms under his brother's bed. We started taking these condoms and fucking blowing them up into balloons. I had a sword, and then we just started throwing them around my room and like swinging the fucking sword at him and destroying shit. And we would just do all types of fucking stupid little kid shit, you know? Like, the first time my dad bought me a BB gun, I shot him in the ass. And I just remember like him on his bike, bawling his fucking eyes out, dude, like just crying, riding his bike home. And I'm following him. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, dude. Like, just trying to tell him, like, my bad, you know? Like, I didn't realize it would hurt. He had this big skateboard, and it had, like, these big old wheels on it, dude. And we would just, like, bomb it down hills and shit. And just, like, I have nobody that I did that with, you know? Like, I don't have any friends like that. You know, I really do miss him because, like, you know, no offense to, like, my current friends. None of them are like him. I'm like, dude, that fool is like the best person in the world to me, you know? Dude, Jurassic Park was our fucking thing, you know? We loved Jurassic Park. We would sing the theme song together and shit, and like, fucking Jurassic Park was our shit, bro. And like, for my 10th birthday when we went to Universal Studios, like, going and riding the Jurassic Park ride, it was so badass. And like, when we were kids, he wanted to be a Minecraft YouTuber, right? He has a lot of videos of that he like posted with like me or like just videos of him playing Minecraft and shit. And like, there's a lot where he'll be like singing Jurassic Park in the background, and you know, like, memories like that are nice for me, you know, just to remember like the things we had together, you know, like our personal connection. Yeah, I like to think about it. Life for me went from fucking hanging out with my friends and like riding my boogie board and going to school every day to like fucking managing a restaurant, dude. And he did that, you know, he killed himself, and it just kind of made like, it's weird, but it really did change my life in such a drastic way. Like, it changed who I am as a person for sure. I mean, it's something, I mean, I really hope, you know, I never move on. And I know that sounds weird, but like, I don't ever want to be at a point where like I don't care anymore and like I don't think about him and like I don't miss him. Like I always want to miss him. He was really wild with instruments, and he bought a recorder at one point and just started fucking playing the recorder, dude. Like full straight up just taught himself how to play music on the recorder, like all types of shit. I have a tattoo of a recorder on my ankle, with his name on it, and then I have this like silver necklace with a recorder on it that his mom gave me, and I've never taken it off. Like ever since she gave it to me, I've never taken the necklace off, and I don't plan on it. I don't know, you know. I've never been a fucking adult. I don't know if that's something that happens, like if you forget about your friends, but I hope I don't. You know, I hope I can always think about the memories and like be happy about it and shit. That's just what it's like living on a little beach town, you know. This girl I knew, these two girls, they called me, and they're like, hey, we don't know how to tell you this, but Jesse killed himself. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I go, I literally said like word for word. I was like, if you're kidding, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, there's no way you're kidding about this. Like, if this is some sick joke, I'm gonna fuck you guys up. This is not funny. Which I would never, bro. You know, they're sweet, and I was just, I was in shock. You know, I was like just angry. And I think they understood that because they've never mentioned that to me, and I think they just felt bad because that's such a horrible way to tell someone. Like they weren't even like, hey, like, dude, we gotta tell you something. Like, dude, like, sit down for a minute, like, take a breather, and like, this is serious. Like, they were just like, hey, we gotta tell you something. Like, you know, Jesse killed himself. I text my friend, like one of my best friends from when I was in like 3rd grade, and I was like, hey, you know, dude, you know, is this true? Is Jesse really dead? And he's like, yeah, bro, I'm sorry. Like, it's true, you know. The first thing I did, bro, I started laughing. Like, I started laughing hysterically. And not like on some like, oh, wow, this is funny. Just like straight up hysteria. Like, I was in like complete, like I did like disbelief, dude. Like, no fucking way. Like the guilt, like the fucking like, dude, the knot in my stomach of just like, holy fucking shit. There's no way right now, bro. I looked at our messages. This was in like 6th or 7th grade. So, you know, I was still like young, really young. And I guess he had messaged me one night and he was like, hey, dude, I want to die. I think I said like, I feel that way too sometimes late at night. You know, it's just your brain getting to you. And he was like, nah, dude, like, I think about death all the time, like all day. I'm always just thinking about death. And I was like, sometimes I get like that, Jesse. You know, like sometimes I get bummed and like I don't feel like living, and like, you know, it's crazy, bro. Because we're fucking like 12, 13 years old talking about this. You know, I mean, bro, at the time as a kid, I felt that way. I felt depressed. I felt like bummed, like just like I had no meaning, and like I don't know. I guess I thought it would be the same way for him. Like he felt that way, kind of, but I didn't think he'd really ever get to a point of like, I want to kill myself, you know, like you know, we're 17 years old. He goes and kills himself. You know, I guess as a kid, I never took it seriously enough. You know, like I never went out of my way to like tell his mom, like, hey, Jesse talks to me about this, because like I never thought he would just do that. Like that would be a thing where it's like, you know, he would talk to me about it, and he didn't really just do it. I mean, you know, it was years later in high school, you know, when he did it, but it's crazy that at like 12, 13, this was brought up to me. I've never told anyone that shit, and it's because like, bro, like I feel guilty about that. Think about it. If that was your friend, and your friend was telling you all that shit, you'd feel the same fucking way, right? Like, dude, your homie told you he wanted to die, and you didn't tell anyone. People will say shit to me, or have said shit to me, like, oh, it's not your fault, and like, oh, you can't blame yourself, you know, this and that. It's like, man, shut the fuck up. Like, I feel that, and I get it, but like, you don't know that this fool was telling me at 13 years old he wanted to fucking die, you know? And I didn't tell anyone because, I mean, yeah, like the reality of it is I didn't realize how serious it was, but it doesn't change the fact that I could have done something about it way long ago, you know, when we were fucking kids. Maybe he could have been getting treatment for this for the past fucking years, bro. You know, if I had said something. And that really trips me out a lot. Bro, we were kids talking about like living together and like be rich, and you know, we're gonna smoke blunts on fucking the beach in the Bahamas, whatever, and like, you know, have sick lives, and like, You know, we had talked about like living in a van, like Cheech and Chong type shit. Like, you know, fucking, we had all these like things that we talked about as a kid, and you know, he's dead, so can't happen. Before it happened, bro, we were like I said, we were cool. Like he was in fucking water polo, and like he was fucking with this girl, and dude, like she was fucking hot, dude. She's bomb. Like she's good looking. Like seriously, like he had this bomb ass girl he was fucking with, and like good grades. He was doing sports. He was ripped. Like everything was going so good for him. It seemed like he had a car, he had a license, like fucking anything you could want as a teenager, you know. Like seriously, and then he just did it. And I've never been able to find a reason. I've never been able to find like why would he have done it, you know? Oh, someone's knocking on the door. Hold on. Oh, can you when I look at my hands, like, can you doing that on your screen?
Yeah, I can see you move.
Oh shit, no way. I've been floating this whole time?
Only when you're looking down.
That's stupid. I was sitting in my room, like I said, I got that phone call, started laughing, was full-blown hysteria, and then crying. And I went to go tell my mom, Jesse's dead, you know, he killed himself, and she was fucking crying. And, you know, I mean, I didn't say it like that, I explained it in, like, the best way I could, like, hey, I just found this out, you know. You know, the next day I didn't go to school at all, but, bro, going to fucking school, holy shit, going to school after my best friend had just, like, died was fucking gnarly, man. My friend was dead, and I was just sitting there in this fucking classroom, like, this teacher blabbing on about Christopher Columbus or some fuck shit I don't care about because my friend's dead, and, like, just tripping out. And everyone's just talking, having fun, laughing, and, like, bro, I was just sitting there, like, holy fuck, man, like, geeking in class, like, dude, like, crying and shit, tripping out, and, like, no one was affected by it. I was just walking around depressed, bro, bummed, and like everyone was happy and just cool, and like, fuck, that shit sucked, dude. That shit was really hard for me, bro. Like nothing mattered, like emptiness, dude. Like nothing in the world mattered anymore. Like it was just like, who gives a fuck, man? Nobody, and I've never even said this before, like out loud, but like, dude. Nobody was as close to me as him. Nobody was fucking. That was my best friend. That was my fucking brother. And I don't know anyone else who had that with him. And like, it was really crazy for me to sit around and hear all these people talk about like him and like how they felt and that. And like, I'd acknowledge it and listen. But like, it was all just wild to me because it's like, nah, bro, you fucking barely knew him. There'd be girls who like would talk about him and like, oh, I loved Jesse and he loved me and he would do this for me and that. It's like, bitch, when we were fucking 11 years old, me and Jesse used to like shit on you because you were like literally one of the rudest people in the world to us. Like, and then now you're sitting here talking about how like me and Jesse used to literally make fun of like certain people that we didn't like because people were fucking mean to us, bro. You know, people are mean in this world, and like people would piss us off and we didn't like them, and like, you know, I was my best friend. We talked shit about him. And then next thing you know, he's dead, and these people are like talking about how like they loved him and like posting pictures of them hanging out in his room with his mom. And then I'm just like, dude, like this is fucked up, man. Like Jesse's mom doesn't know that he didn't fucking like you, you know? Like, why are you in his house? And I had never felt anything like that before, you know? I had never lost anything like that. Even like animals or lives. I never lost a life like that before. So it really just kind of fucked me up, you know? It's wild, dude. I mean, it's crazy to think about the fact that like such a happy, cool kid hung himself, dude. His mom was so fucking sweet, bro. This big, sweet Southern lady, like so nice, and like, dude, she had to go into his room and like see him, you know? I remember one day I was talking to his stepdad, and he was just telling me about how like when he found Jesse, he had been fucked. He found Jesse, you know, hanging from the ceiling, and I guess he was like yellow, like his skin was yellow, and like all fucked up from rigor mortis. I hate that word, rigor mortis. I really hate that word. It's a weird word. You know, his mom had to see that, and like his stepdad too, and you know, stepdad had to fucking literally like cut the rope and cut him down. I don't know why the fuck he told me about that. Like, I really don't know why that was a thing. I think he was just grieving, and you know, I was there, so he wanted to talk to me about it. Like, he knew we were close, but it fucked me up, bro. Cause like that was a really hard time for me, and there'd be a lot of nights where I would like literally dream about like him hanging himself, and like I'd watch my best friend fucking hang himself, like in my own thoughts, because it was described to me so vividly. Full described exactly where he did it, how he did it, what he looked like, what happened when he cut him down, like what happened after he cut him down, like all that shit. And like it was a lot for me, bro. Like, you know, I had just found out that my friend died. I didn't talk to his mom for a while. I think I sent her a text and I was like, hey, you know, like I'm sorry, and she just never replied. And I think the first couple of months she was just so like, she was a ghost, man. You try to talk to her and she would just not reply, and like she was just going through it, you know. I was just fucking mom. The first few months we didn't really get to talk about it much. But later on I would go over and talk to her and kind of just bring up stories of us as kids and talk about how we would do this and that, and like I could tell she loved talking to me about it, because I would fucking talk to her and pour myself out to her. And you know, from what she told me, she enjoyed the fact that I could walk in and just, you know, tell her all this shit about Jesse she had never heard, and like she kind of got to see a lot of his life through my eyes, and I think that was really cool for her. We really bonded over talking about his life, you know, her seeing his life through my eyes, and you know, me seeing his life through her eyes. It was really cool just to hear about like him as a kid and like, you know, all that. I haven't seen her since Christmas. When I went out there, I visited her, and she made me all this, like she gave me all this stuff she baked, dude. It was fucking bomb. Gave me all types of bomb shit. Really cool. She's really good at baking cake. Like I was telling you, I see it as my fault. I could have done something about it, you know, and there's no argument there. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, yes, it's unhealthy for me to do that to myself, and like it's totally not like it may not make the most sense, but I don't know anyone else he talked to about that. No one else has ever told me he mentioned that to them. Who the fuck else is there to blame, you know, other than him? You got him, me, and like if you really want to get into it, you know, I mean, you can't blame his fucking parents. Kids don't talk to their parents about shit unless they do and they're open, but a lot of kids don't, and I guess he never talked to her about it. But when it comes down to it, dude, I'm the only person I know of that he was talking to, and like he was the only. I'm the only person that he came to and said like, "Hey, I feel like fucking dying." Of course, I still feel guilt from it, and I don't think that'll ever go away, because I've convinced myself that I could have done something, you know. And even my own therapist, when I think I kind of brought up concepts of like, hey, I feel guilty because, you know, we used to kind of both talk about our feelings, and she was just like, well, you can't. But that didn't help, you know, it doesn't help. And with something like that, honestly, I don't really think anyone could ever say or do anything to fix that. Maybe if his own mom, you know, maybe if his mom told me like, nah, dude, like he talked to me about it too, and like, I missed the signs too. Maybe then I'd be like, all right, you know, maybe there was more to it than I know. It could have been maybe not prevented, but it could have been attempted to be prevented. You know, there was no attempt; it just happened. It's funny because when we were kids, like, you know, that edgy humor was what was funny. Like we'd always joke about suicide and like, oh, dude, like dude, the amount of times that we told each other to like, yo, kill yourself, you know, like I always thought it was all like edgy memes and shit. It's kind of crazy to think about because he killed himself, to put it, you know, blatantly. But, you know, if someone says, you know, I want to kill myself, it's easy to take that and just be like, you know, whatever, fuck it. Or like, just kind of move on and think they're just exaggerating, you know? I never thought anyone in my life would kill themselves. And then my fucking best friend did. So it's just kind of something that like really, it happens, you know, you don't expect it a lot. I'd read about, you know, suicide and like the awareness of it, and, you know, oh, watch out for this and that. And in my head, I'd be like, oh, bullshit, you know, what the fuck? No one I know is going to do that to themselves. And then like my best friend in the whole world, my brother, did that, bro. What I really want to get across Like, and I know this sounds harsh and horrible, but dude, like your friends will die and can die, and like you need to watch out for your friends, bro. If you got people you care about, like they will die. If you have a friend who's talking about fucking killing themselves, bro, don't sit around thinking, oh, it's not really gonna happen or this or that. Dude, like tell somebody. I remember being a kid and like I didn't want to tell on my own friends, 'cause I like shit like that. But like, fuck, man, I really wish I had told someone like, hey, Jesse keeps talking to me about this. Jesse keeps bringing this up. Jesse keeps making these jokes, Because maybe I still have my fucking best friend, Like, seriously. Fuck, man. Like, check on your friends. Like, I really hope it. I really hope what I said can change people's perspective and make them think the way some of your other videos have made me think, Maybe someone will watch it and they got a friend who, like, talks about that stuff and it'll make them tell somebody, That's the goal, really. That was the end of a chapter, like right after that, my life was very different. I kind of like moved on with a lot of my dreams and like I kind of just like everything went on pause for a long time. I'm glad I knew him and I'm glad I had him in my life. We kind of like made each other who we were, like we really bounced off each other a lot. And like I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for that kid, Really, I wouldn't. Like I'd probably be a fucking dick or something. Like, honestly. I remember my mom mentioned this thing to me. She was saying that like when we were in elementary school, she called the school and she had told them like to put us in the same class because she noticed that we like did better when we were together. Like, we would just do better in general. I like to think I'm a smart kid, but I kind of realized that I started doing way shittier in school once Jesse wasn't around. Because when he was around, he'd help me with a lot of shit like math and stuff. And like, man, he really made me want to be like the best version of me a lot of the time. Like, I wanted to like grind out my education and like be smart and learn all this shit. And then he died and I didn't give a fuck. I literally did not do any fucking schoolwork ever. Like, I could not tell you how I graduated high school. Genuinely, it's crazy to me that I graduated high school. It's beyond me, man. It's really just wild. He's the greatest friend I've ever had. I'm glad he was my friend. I just wish he wasn't dead, dude. I mean, really, like put it straight. Like, fuck, man. Like, I want to hang out with him. Like, it's my dog, bro. I'm gonna hang out with all these fucking weirdos. And hang out with all types of fucking weirdos. That's my only, like, because my brother, killed himself and decided to, that's really what pisses me off is that sentence. Like, he killed himself. Like, he just kind of chose to leave and be like, fuck her, man. Like you can't just leave your dogs like that. I don't know. Fucks with me a lot. Dude, I gotta ask you, what's up with the fucking Peter cam? Why the fuck is it Peter Griffin? And like, why does he look like so fucking scary and like drugged out? Why does he look like that? Why is he? What's wrong with Peter?
If you could tell everybody in the world one thing, what would it be?
Fuck. It would be tell your friends that you love them every fucking day. Every chance you get, any moment, tell your friends you love your people, anyone you love. Tell them you love them. And it's not weird. Tell your homies you love them, tell your sister you love her, tell your brother you love him. Tell everybody you fucking love them. Any chance you get. Because you don't know if fucking hour later they'll die. Tell everyone you love them. Now my question for you.
No, you get no questions.